that F2, it has its ups. You know, you can't get caught off the prio. So, I mean, F2 does have that ups where you can continue to fight and stay safe, opposed to the F1 healing. But game number 3, we're back into these games. JDG's verse against Action for our first scrap off of the day of the game. Massive R&B proud. Does not matter to get the focus off of this. Action's gonna go ahead and throw down the F. Jump LMB. The massive lunge there off the longsword. We see the jump LMB's tech chase just beautifully there from the longsword. R&B proud once again there for verse to the aerial LMB off of this, and verse gonna pick up a quick elimination off drop there against Action. Now it's gonna go ahead and loot up the rest of this area. Wang Liang against JL's AS. Click comes in off the focus for both players. Just Cena visa Tessa here for Wang Liang. Looks like AES gonna drop all that armor. RB focus connects from mid-range there. Just a poke to try to create that space. Big barrier from AES onto Wang Liang. Doesn't get the full damage though. Thought the F was gonna be called in. Tries to read it, but Wang Liang being composed and just takes half of that damage off of that. Wang Liang looks like he is going to try to back up now. AS still on the chase. Massive parry from Wang Liang. Ship parry. Stops on over to the pole sword. Trying to get the confirmed damage. LMB prowler for AS. F caught in for Wang Liang. There to avoid the full damage. Tesla ultimate now invested from Wang Liang. It looks like AS is going to try to interact, but Wang Liang with mounts of pressure there. And there goes the stun and the pole sword swap. And Wang Liang with a mass elimination off. Drop onto AS for game number 3.
It's a great start from Wang Liang here, able to come away with the kill, using Tessa to the best of the kit's ability here, as we are going to see DRG's Fun getting parried pretty quickly out here, and he is going to go down. EWG's Arano coming with the kill. Frostivus did try and come and get a little sneaky third party going off there. EWG's Arano doing an amazing job of tap dodging back there. Frostivus is going to get parried here pretty quickly. The tree is going to grief the punish, bringing it back around into a grapple combo. Frostivus with a sliver of health remaining. Arano able to come away with his second kill of the game, and Frostivus with not the greatest start. Usually we see him picking up a couple of these kills, and he got a little bit of a taste of his own medicine from that last game there. It's BBE's Cam 1 on the other side here, closer to the Imperial Village. Cam 1 is going to end up backing off here. Does have that purple armor, not wanting to lose that too early. Having such a great armor advantage going into these fights is something that you definitely want to keep. JJH Star, 2 purple weapons in hand already. Don't know how he managed that, but only has great armor on his person. So we are going to see Cam 1 taking a lot more damage as well. J-Team's paced very hot in pursuit of Cam 1. We are going to see him weaving and dodging. Very good movement so far from him, trying to get away. Not able to get as much healing value from his F as most of these players usually get, as he is running that F2, being able to not get staggered though. So as his chase is going to make it a little bit more difficult for these players to come back onto him, as they are going to end up starting to focus each other here. Verse getting another good LMB pro into the swap, but he rolls the animation, causing him to not come away with the parry punish into the swap, as we are going to see Verse backing off here, trying to go for a bit of a heal, as the mech is going to be coming out from Fun Plus Phoenix's Chu Shi, almost losing his life there, able to save himself with a V3 pillar, getting the entire reset of his health back up, as we see all of these players back to full health and starting to back off from each other as we are progressing into this game. Juchi trying to get a hit off from the sky here. JDG's Verse waiting in the wings. That purple greatsword at hand could be doing a lot of damage. Greatsword, we haven't seen very much of it ever since the pole sword came out. It's sort of become a weapon that's been a little bit obsolete. Most players opt to use the hammers in the shop to switch that around into a pole sword, just being the better weapon in general over time through these players. As we're going to see Juchi getting dangerously low here, is forced to back off 3 players on the attack, and JT is going to get the parry, coming away with the kill there.
Pace and Verse not going at it. Another massive parry there from Pace. Big damage. Tries to catch him off the V3. No weapon there for Verse. Gonna go right back inside the hut to try to pick up a weapon. I believe he picked up a fan. Now Frostivus on the trail against Verse. Frostivus has his eyes against the Zaping. Frostivus on the fair right now. Has the own life. He needs a nice scare rush. Get some damage in. Cam 1 is very weak. Arano now on the chase with the purple staff onto Cam 1. The freeze connects there, and big damage off the R&B focus, and the elimination comes into play there for Arano. Now he's going to use another dash to back up, and Arano snags up the kill, gets the elimination, gets the soul bloom as well. His job is done for this early fight. And Pace now against Verse, going at it against the inside the hut again. There goes the grapple 1.0. Tries to swap into the fan infinite, does not manage to do so. Pace it's going to go ahead and swap to the musket off of that as well. Quick swaps for these players, quickly maneuvering through these weapons in their inventory, swapping into that infinite. We saw the longsword prio into the fan infinite, I believe, last week as well, or 2 weeks ago, that being showed out here for the Pro League. So, I mean, if you're able to catch off R&B, we do know that's a lot easier than trying to catch LNB Prio. And you're able to swap on over to the fan, to the Infinite. Massive crouch barrier there from Pace. Swaps him back as well to the grapple fan. Infinite, that's 2. Drops the second. Area R&B for the confirmed damage there, though. Burst now. Go ahead and pop that F. Try to back up. No online there for the Zapink. Click comes in off the Scare Rush there for Verse. Pace still trying to apply the pressure. Jump LNB to stop that Scare Rush. 1-2 there from the fan. Overholding. R&B focus connects there for Verse. Big damage. Pace is going to be forced to pop this mech. And he is going to be able to get some damage in as well. No, doesn't get the damage off of this. Gets the damage onto Arano. Massive Scare Rush there for Verse. And he is going to pick up the elimination onto Pace. And Pace is going to fall for this game, I believe. Still has a health. Still has a second life. Arano now against Verse. The pressure is on. Zaping, though, has this ultimate if they need it. Crouch LNBs off the fan, overholding, spins it to the little right. He could have gotten pair there. Burst now in big trouble. He's trying to create the space. Spins back to Scare Rush, gets caught off of this. LNB, jump LNB, jump LNB. Invested there for the Justina. Puck comes in off to the Zapane. He's just going to give up this life. He is going to just go ahead and back into that soul form. That's another elimination onto Arano. And I believe that's 4 for Arano right now. That is 4 for Arano. Early game for game number 3. Coming in hot right now with 4 eliminations on the board. 37.2 overall points here for EWG Arano.
Yeah, it was a good unfortunate circumstance where he does have to, JDG's Verse does have to give up that kill to EWG's Arano, because if he would have made that fight last a little bit longer, it would have been very unfortunate for him, because he would have lost his soul. Yeah, and would have been completely eliminated from the game. Luckily, he was able to let the kill happen before. EWG's Arano could have maybe made a smarter play and just held on for a second and not killed him, but I feel like having him, the potential of killing him again, might be a little bit more valuable. As JJH's star, oh my goodness, coming through into the swamp with the dual blades. Absolute insanity coming out from JJH's star right now. Able to come away with some crazy plays right now, trying to make it happen a second time. Uses 2 of his dashes up, unsuccessful in connecting with all of them right now. As Kaibao is going to bring it back over. Does have that gold pole sword in hand. Going to be very dangerous with that. Gets the prio off again, trying to deal as much damage as possible, but that ult just bringing back so much of that HP. We're going to see the F ability come out again, as Kaibao's ult is going to go down now. Star on the lower amount of HP, but hitting so much more here, as we're going to see Kaibao is going to get hit again. More prio coming off a third time. Ladies and gentlemen, Wolves Kaibao is just getting absolutely blitzed, and the jumping LMB JJH star, you dirty dog, that was absolutely insane.
That boy showed up with a triple heaven step off the prio, swaps on over to the Halberds, mates out there, does not get the elimination off of it, but triple heaven step riles there. That was disgusting there for Star. And there you go. If you was wondering, Star, the new kid on the block, if he has the mechanics, we see him, and he's in the Pro League for a reason, and he showed out there in that Realm of Yang. I mean,
like,
that was disgusting.
About it. That was just,
yeah, that was filthy. That was filthy there from Star. I'm not gonna lie. We see Star now getting loose in these games. We see him showing out his mechanics in these games. A lot different from his first showing, his debut in the Pro League. And we see him get a lot more comfortable. Frostivus against AS, I believe Justina V Feria here. AS already loses all that armor. Pistol shots connect there for AS. No freeze yet. Holding Frostivus to make sure he does not get frozen. Gets caught off the LNB prior off of this. No damage because of the terrain. R&B 1-2s there for AS. F caught in for Frostivus. V3 beacon called in. Nice weave there from AS now to avoid that V3 beacon. The first beam does connect there off the first missile. AS now still trying to create the space. Does manage to pop 1 powder. The second missile connects. The third one misses though. That could have been big damage there for Frostivus. And AS now to go ahead and try to take a quick reset for himself. Frostivus as well is going to go ahead and pop some of these health as well for himself to try to get back to full health. Trying to get the pressure on to AS still. Does not manage to do so. The D-Mech comes into play for Frostivus. Clint comes in off the grapple LNB. Scare Rush does not connect there for AS. Nice spacing there for Frostivus. LNB focus does connect there for AS. Overholding. LNB prior here for Frostivus. F called in there for the Justina. Going to go ahead and Scare Rush up. Does not catch the prior off of this though. Frostivus now still staying the distance. Make sure you can still apply the pressure. Nice. Nope, does not connect off the parry there. AS now is gonna get cut off the lunge. What's the follow-up mix-up off of this? Just a standard damage off the lunge there. AS now is gonna lose all that armor again. The health is pretty much even once again for both of these players. Little bait out. Common armor swap there for AS. Gonna go ahead and try to catch the Prowl. Does not do so yet. Overholding. F caught in for AS once again. And this is a neck and neck fight between both of these players right now. Pistol shot for the extra chip damage. And Frostivus weaves it there. Nice weave there. Misses the 2-on-1 though. Does not get the damage in. But what a dodge there from Frostivus, avoiding that. And Frostivus still trying to apply the pressure. AS can go ahead and scare rush up. Another chip damage off the pistol. Click comes in off the focus. R&B focus connector for Frostivus. F caught in for AS. Big ship parry there for AS. Pistol shot times 2, times 3. F caught in there for Frostivus. And the third pistol shot there for AS. And that's Frostivus game number 3. And AS showing up here in game number 3.
Oh my goodness, that fight went right down to the wire. You're going to see JJH just Star get eliminated, but fret not, Star fans who are recently been found. I've just become a fan of Star, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be back. He did have that Vermilion's Burn Might buff here, as we are seeing staff fights right now. Staff seems like the weapon that is getting diffed the most against these players in these classic 1v1 fights. We're seeing these players lose over and over again. Frostivus going out there, getting parried, and then the triple pistol shots just coming in and absolutely deleting his health. It was fighting really hard there to try and cure that Yang depletion, as we're going to see the Prio come off into the extension, grappled, and getting that guaranteed charged attack off. Bao does action, coming away with an amazing kill here, putting himself on the board with 2 eliminations so far. It looks like he is very close to where that Spirit Well is going to be spawning. He does have the option to take either the Spirit Well or he could go the other way here. Pace with a huge parry. XCG's Wang Liang is not going to be able to capitalize off of that ultimate. Switches to the gold fan that he's got in the back pocket here. Pace is going to try and back off here. Does have a little bit of a disadvantage in the armor department, as we're going to see that purple armor being a very crucial part of Wang Liang's game right now. J-Team's Pace is going to want to back off. Doesn't really want to engage too quickly here, but Wang Liang aggroing very much right now. Doesn't have Yang depletion, so he doesn't really need to take this fight right now, but he wants to get active. Ju Chi here as well, coming in on the third party. Wang Liang is going to start to back off a little bit here as this third party has entered into the fight. Being a Tessa, yeah, I guess you do want to try and take out as many of these other players as fast as you can, but he gets caught out in the bush, tried to go for the invisibility, but somebody did spot him. Is going to take a few range shots here, but ultimately going to be able to get that full reset, and is going to be able to scale rush up top here to create some more distance between Juchi and Paste. We're holding that bottom area, searching frantically for him as JJH Star taking the Realm of Yang for a second time. This guy's got some cojones on him here, coming through. With these new changes, I was expecting to see a lot less players going for the Realm of Yang, as you don't have that insurance option that you can pick up in the early game by picking up a kill and leaving a Soul Bloom somewhere. So seeing these players still going into the Realm of Yang and then frantically searching for a kill, it's a lot of fun. As, oh my goodness, Verse tried to pick up some weapons, and it looks like Baoda's action got most of those Soul Jades there, as they are going to end up backing off. They don't want to engage onto each other too quickly there, as it seems that most of the Z-Pings want to stick together. With this new patch, it seems like lots of these heroes, lots of these players are really bettering their target selection.
There we go. Second Realm of Yang, XCG's Wang Liang against Star with a massive first round right now. Massive parry onto Wang Liang. Trying to bait out the F. There goes the R&B focus for the damage. F caught in for Wang Liang. He has the opener. He needs another parry there for Star. That's big damage off of this. Overholding is going to go ahead and invest his Justina ultimate. Tessa ult still online. It's going to weave it. Oh my god, Star with a massive dash into the aerial RB. Oh my god, Star. Massive RBs there for the dash cast to chase down. That was disgusting. Pace against Arano to the standard 1.0 there from the dual blades. V3 called in there for Pace, and now the freeze connects for Arano. LMB prior off of this. LMB uppercut. No, F caught in. Pace is going to be able to jump inside this mech for the time being. 32 seconds and counting, and we know Feria is that Yang staller. Arano is going to go ahead and take that quick reset, cancels that. Oh, we see this time and time again with the Justinas. Once they're in a realm against a Feria, once that Feria ult comes online, they're going to go ahead and cancel that ult and try to get the chip damage off range to try to get that rage back up. F caught in once again for Pace, catches the prowl, freeze there for Arano. Did not cancel this time around. Goes for the 2-on-1. No, pulsar swap 1-2. Grapple extension. LB 1-2.
Oh my god!
There for Arano. Swapping off the pulsar back to the staff. Arano showing us a combo today here with a full TLD with the staff pulsar.
People are pulling up these combos like this is a highlight reel from somebody's montage. Like, this is absolutely insane what these players are doing in the NBPL right now. You never see this sheer amount of these crazy combos. Usually you see the eliminations happen with like a third-party elimination, as we're seeing here with JL's AS running away. This is the industry standard for how we see these eliminations play out. Getting Shark down, nothing too crazy, just a clean grinding kill as JL's AS trying to run away as much as he can, using that dagger to get that extra movement. Scale rushing a lot, but getting griefed by the terrain right now as Wang Liang, hot in pursuit, needs to get this Soul Bloom to be able to cure his Yang depletion. So a lot of these players that we're seeing, Wang Liang sending that Tessa charm out to try and catch JL's AS out, but the uppercut coming up from JDG's verse going to send him into his F2 to be able to block all damage and attacks from these players as AS trying to back up, going airborne, weaving and ducking around. And Plume Castle, one of the places where these players are able to move pretty much as far away as they want, and Wang Liang is going to be able to hit him with the Tessa charm. And now it is just a matter of time before he goes out. JDG's verse can be the one to pick up the kill, and it looks like he is also going to be the one to pick up the Soul Bloom as BB's Cam 1 coming back around, seeing if he can get a little bit of loot off the body. Ends up taking a lot of damage from Wang Liang, and he's going to be able to go for that reset here. Wang Liang now frantically needs another kill, used up both charges of his ult, and only has 1 minute and 51 seconds to make anything happen. He is going to just try and focus the nearest player here, as Cam 1 is going to be his victim of choice as we're running away here. Cam 1 trying to break away from these players, does pop that F2 to be able to get that stagger debuff where nobody's going to be able to stagger against him. Wang Liang now taking a lot of cannon shots as the whole lobby flips on the lone Tessa, trying to go for a reset. Two of these players still see him. JDG's verse coming in, the player who was able to steal the blooms away and the kill away from Wang Liang, sending that ult out, but to no effect, as these two players are both going to be sharking for the kill. And JDG's verse picking up his 4th kill of the game, now going up against Baoda's Action here, as they are going to try and fight it out, the two of them. And it's crazy. The target selection has really changed with this new patch, as these players are not fighting each other if they're the same hero, unless they have that Yang depletion or absolutely need to. EWG's Arano gonna go do a little drive-by kill there with the pole sword, freezes up Cam 1, comes away with the kill, and then pieces out right away.
Pace. Peacing out, backing up. Fong still on the trail. Fong, very quiet for today's games. Dropped very early game number 2. Still trying to find his fitting for game number 3 right now. Fong now, it's like he might run into this third party, and when he's known to jump into these third parties time and time again. V3 was gonna catch the carousel. Pace, Arano, go ahead and pop that F, as well as Pace, jump LMB. LMB focus there for Fong there, coming into that third party, perfectly timing back on that dagger once again. Looks like the Scare Rush is not gonna connect there for Pace. Does not catch it the second time around as well. Uppercut through the window for both players. Now everybody showing up to the party. Looks like they do have their eyes onto Arano. Arano right now currently with 7 eliminations on the board. Does manage to get out completely, so he is going to stay up. This is a massive game 3 for Arano right now. Big eliminations on the board for EWG Arano. 7 kills. Pace still getting active, as well as 3 other players here. Action putting up a lot of damage on the board against the Feria. Looks like the Feria is going to mech up now. Fong showing up as well. Action with the martial arch J, spinning it back to create the space. Pace does not want to aggress that player. Juchi, it's going to be just a ticking time bomb once that mech deforms. All these players are going to start moving on in. No ult zone pop in the backside there from Star. Action now out of that mech, so still try to hold up for the time being. Fong gets pace, cannon shots flying on in from every direction right now. Birds moving on in, pistol shots, Action, pistol shot as well. Big damage, and Fong with elimination there. And that's what you do not want to happen to you. Fighting in the middle of everybody. Click comes in, Fong now is gonna mech up, and once again another ticking time bomb onto Fong, and you see the damage coming into play here for Fong. Cannon shots, pistol shots, Juicy moving on in. People fighting right below. Star and Burst go fan in hand for Star. JDG's Burst with the purple hung sword. Missile shot does not get the damage in. Does connect onto Action though. Now it's just a matter of time that these players might move on to this fairy with no ult. There it is. The D-Mech comes into play. Fong manages to find a spot to stay safe for the time being. Getting a full reset. full repair, reset everything. No pressure onto the Mac. Nobody focusing the Faria with no ult there. Action, JJ Star. The third person in the background, couldn't catch the name. Arano, maybe gold armor for Arano though. The only one in this lobby with gold armor currently. JDG's burst still getting active. Star drops very low. One more block of that purple armor. Action trying to respond as well. No ults in play inside that domain. Action and Arano still going at it. Burst though. Still trying to find a spot to take a reset in for himself. Cannon shots flying on in. Looks like he is going to manage to create the space now. Action as well backs up. Everybody's scattering now. Zone 4 almost completely spreading. Everybody's going to have to start moving on in now. But Burst with 4 eliminations right now for game number 3. That's a good showing for him as well. 11.9 currently in 13 plays. JJ Star with 2 eliminations, 14.7. Ballard has Action with 2, 20.8. But EWG Arano now with 7 eliminations on the board, 42.6. He managed to get that top 2 multiplier. It's going to be a big amount of points for this game for himself. So just have to wait and see how that goes for him. Spirit will pick up there, and this is purple rarity. Not sure if it changes off the third one, and I have to keep my eyes on that. I know for the trios it's straight gold armor and like gold weapons and gold jade. So you know, I didn't really pay attention what zones it was that those gold rarities are dropping for trios. But for solos, I've been keeping track, and so far it's been purple. I don't think I've seen a gold so far, so I am going to keep my eye out on the spirit wells and see if the scalage is different for solos and trios. But we still have more aggression here, and what do you think is going to happen? You think we can get the MVP here for the Zaping set?
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be mostly the Z-Pings here. We're seeing both Z-Pings, and there's also gonna be a few Justinas, but EWG's Arano, one of the only Justinas left in the game, is on 7 eliminations. So if they're able to hold themselves back, if they're able to hold themselves into just maybe like a couple more placement points higher than they already are right now, which is looking very, very less likely right now, as they're going dangerously low right now, gonna come out in 6th place. They still do have a very good chance of being the MVP with the sheer amount of more kills that they have, unless JDG's verse is able to pop off and catch up to them in kills. 7 kills on the board, going out in 6th place is still a very great score to have. They'll be in the top 3 for sure. Right now we're seeing 2 Z-Pings, I believe, 2 Farias, and 1 Justina. And one thing is, the target selection right now is so fascinating to me. The way that these players are acting like coordinated units. They've come to some sort of unspoken agreement where if we get late game and you're the same hero as me, I don't kill you until we get every other hero out of the game. Whereas before it was a little bit looser, as we just sharked down the lowest player. We didn't try to take out players based on what hero they were playing, and it did lead to a lot of advantages where these one player would be playing a hero that wouldn't be favored to win in the final circle, but the Farias would go low and then the Z-Ping would end up winning. So it is pretty cool to see how this has changed, especially with the new patch coming in. It's definitely changed the way that these players are taking a look at their playstyle and the game, as right now we are seeing the Farias starting to try and go up against the Justina here. JJH's Star being the lone Justina in the lobby. JDG's Verse on the Z-Ping, trying to get that ult back as much as possible. Gets to 70%, is going to be able to have that ult in the back pocket at almost full charge, just in case there's a crisis that happens pretty early. They should be able to get that ult back to full charge before this final fight is going to start happening, but right now these players are just trying to get for survivability right now. We might see, as we're seeing DRG Spong trying to take out that Z-Ping, they want to clear the Z-Pings out of the lobby so that they can rain fire onto that Justina in that final circle with the Faria Max.
Just a moment, just a matter of time. Zone 6 spreading now. A lot of these players are going to start being forced to the center of this next zone. Once again, we have 2 Z-Pings, 2 Farias, and 1 Justina on the field right now. Top 5 players still remaining. Bong trying to lay down some pressure off the cannons into the main building here. Action drops very low off the gold armor. He's going to lose pretty much all that gold armor with only 1 block left of that gold armor. He's going to eat up the damage off the R&B focus there from Juchi, off the purple longsword. And Action now is going to go ahead and try to create the space to try to find a reset, but he has players on his trail. He is going to manage to try to pop one, but it's Fong, first one on the scene, trying to create some pressure onto Action. Looks like the pressure is not going to connect there off the R&B focus there from Juchi this time around. F caught in there for the Faria to avoid any capitalizations there from that pole sword. You do not want to take damage off that gold pole sword. Verse claiming the high ground right now. Juchi drops 1 layer into the middle. Action right below. Fong goes up 1 layer. Juchi looks like they are going to be able to get a full reset here. Trying to claim this high ground potentially. Fong playing the low ground right now on the Faria. And I mean, this could be bad for the pings, depending on the situation of how the end circle pans out. But with 2 Fares still in the field, it's gonna be very hard to try to take them out here in this last final moments. I mean, the zone is gonna completely close here for game number 3, so we're gonna have to wait and see how that pans out. Gold Hong Sword there for Verse, as well as a gold pole sword, trying to see what it is, the perfect opportunity to drop down. Potential 3 charge off that gold pole sword is going to do tons of damage to all the players below. But with the terrain right now for this end circle, layers on top of layers on top of layers, it's going to be kind of hard to try to find an opening, but he can catch a player lacking. It's just going to be a matter of time once we see this. And Fong just completely chilling in the bottom layer of this whole zone. It might go off to a heal off, so this doesn't really favor a Faria terrain here. There's going to be a lot of places for these players to hide. Abyssal Aura there for Juchi, forcing out Action to pop that ultimate very quickly. They're trying to scatter out up to the next layer to get inside the zone. Crutch and Bees, JJ Star now is going to be forced to fight this off. Click comes in, 2 players jump on in. V3 Beacon in the middle. Juchi now is going to eat up tons of damage. He's going to be able to mech up now, but takes a lot of damage going inside that zone. The freeze connects there for the Justina. Juchi does not take the damage though, still eating a lot of damage off that zone. He's going to be Star picking the elimination, and Star with 4 now on the board, I believe. Action against Star. Star picking up, I think, another elimination here onto Action. No, it's going to be Action taking out Star. No, die to the zone. It's going to be
everyone's dying to the zone.
Up. And this is insane to me. This is insane to me. This is insane. The
barely
previous
anybody got those kills.